Hello guys, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be talking about sepsis and what it is. Guys, if you think you're coming down with this, don't watch my videos because I'm not a medical expert. I'm just someone who likes doing research on medical topics and doing them for videos. All this information and pictures are found on Google. So therefore, these are informative videos in case you have health class and you're doing this specific topic, you will watch this and you will find it interesting. So I will be covering on this channel, I've been doing a lot of math videos. What I do is I do math videos, health videos, and history videos only. As those are the only three interesting topics that I've ever discovered, learned. Anyway, so here we go. Sepsis, what is it? What the freak? Sepsis what is it? Yeah, an infection of the bloodstream resulting in a cluster of symptoms such as drop in blood pressure, increase in heart rate, and fever. So heart rate, I think the fever will be about 101, 102, and 103, and the increased heart rate will be up in the 150s, if not mistaken. That means you will have tachycardia and hyperthermia. Together, that will make the ultimate not so good results because that can kill, and it will. The causes of sepsis is bacterial, viral, or fungal infection. The risk factors include weakened immune system, having diabetes or cirrhosis, wounds or injuries such as burns. So if you have a cut on your arm, it can allow bacteria to get into it, which not automatically will it lead to sepsis. If it leaves where it's at now and goes into your bloodstream, it poisons your entire bloodstream, attacking your organs and every body part in your body. And it just attacks everything once it gets inside your bloodstream. And it is one of the most painful ways of ending your, it's one of the most painful ways of actually dying because it eats away on you. It basically just eats, it wouldn't say eats you alive, it sounds a little bit too far-fetched, but it basically just kills you, so it just makes you weak to the point where you can't even do anything. You have a high fever, you have dizziness, you're throwing up, you get a high fever, you're sweating, you're dehydrated. It's like a whole bunch of things. But the thing is, what it is up here, it says sepsis is bacterial, viral, or fungal infection. So any type of infection will cause sepsis if it's untreated, and that's in a rare case. Although sepsis isn't rare and over 200,000 people get it per year, it's not something you would automatically think that you have, because if you do, well, that suggests you go to the doctors just to make sure you don't have it, because if you're showing the symptoms we're going to talk about all together, yes, I think you should. And definitely if you see something with a cut on your arm, I'm going to show you a picture of what you're going to look out for, and that will tell you. So here we go. What are the warning signs for sepsis and the symptoms now? Generalized body swelling, faster heart rate, reduced urine output, fever, chills, decrease in platelet count, difficulty in breathing, mental confusion, hyperventilation. So difficulty breathing means you cannot get enough breath, you cannot breathe. Fever and chills, it's already a sign of an infection or anxiety and much more. So these are all of your symptoms you need to look out for. Let's talk about it. So, this is what you have to look out for. Now, these are found on Google. Now, you can see this guy has somewhat of a little bit of like a zit or some type of bug bite on his arm. If these get infected, you can see there's a big red streak of line down there. That indicates that it is in late infection stage or it is getting into an infection. Not automatically will a cut get infected. You gotta keep it clean, keep it healthy, and if you don't, it can allow germs and bacteria to get into it, and it will allow this red streak to come down. This red streak means an infection is literally happening as we speak. Right here, you can see a red lining is an outline on this, I guess a bite or something, scab. I have no idea what that is. You can see on his arm, you can see on his hand, on his thumb, you can see there's a red line, a red streak. There's just like a red line circle around it. That means an infection also. So if this is one too, you can see there's like a little bit of red right there. So you can see his hands are kind of a bit mottled, and there's also a lot of stuff going on right here. Those are all kind of signs of an infection. Now these are not all sepsis, but these are what you can look out for an infection. Now not all these will mean sepsis, but it can mean a different infection which could just be as deadly or more deadly. Sepsis complications. Reduced blood flow to organs such as brain, heart, and kidney. Now, if you have reduced organ blood flow to your brain, you could end up either brain dead, or you might have brain damage, or you might just not remember anything at all, not your family, no nothing. Now, if you have damage to your heart, that could cause a heart attack, or it might cause you to have to be completely careful with your heart every day of your life, after this. A kidney. So, a kidney, that means your kidneys won't be good. You gotta either get a replacement or like that. So, reduced flow in arteries results in blood clot. So, if you have a blood clot in the lungs, that's a automatic death possibility if you don't get that taken care of fast enough. And yeah, so it's not good to get any blood clot anywhere because there's a risk it could travel to your brain, lungs, or anywhere else. Blood clot may lead to gangrene, requiring an amputation of affected limb, toes, or finger. That means they basically put you to sleep and they cut off that limb. So that means if you have it on your foot or leg, you are gonna get your leg and foot chopped off, taken off. You will no longer have that specific foot. If it gets too bad, that's basically the only way of keeping you alive without dying from sepsis. If it gets too bad, it will cause you to have to get an amputation of an affected limb, toes, or finger. That means one of your fingers could be gone, all of your fingers could be gone, your toes could be gone, or a leg could be gone. Anything that is infected could possibly have to be getting amputated. Now, if you have sepsis, you got a cut on your brain, well, that could just lead to meningitis, so I think that's an automatic death for you. So, disseminated intravascular coagulopathy. I've heard of that, but I don't know what that means. So I think that means something with intravascular. I think that means something with your heart or with one of those body parts. Anyway, sepsis final stage is septic shock. So septic shock can kill you. This is the final stage. If sepsis somehow gets untreated or goes untreated for a long enough time, you're already at the hospital, but they still are running the test while you go into septic shock, then your chances of making it out alive are maybe 50-50. Sepsis shock symptoms are noticeably low amounts of urine, acute confusion, dizziness, severe problems breathing, and bluish discoloration of the digits or lips. So this could be cyanosis. So this could be basically from severe lack of blood flow, and a lack of blood cells can cause it. Sepsis shock complications is if left untreated up until this point, it will cause multi-organ failure in men and women who develop this. Multi-organ failure will affect your kidneys, your heart, your liver, your pancreas, all of your organs. It means, I'm going to say all of them, but most of all your organs will be killed and destroyed and will be damaged to the point where just basically unreturned. If it gets too bad, untreated, and you don't go to the doctors, but you're still in miserable pain, you develop septic shock, well, it's probably too late then because all of your organs by this time could possibly be going under attack. Sepsis, again, happens when there's an infection in your bloodstream. Now, if you don't even have an infection in the first place, then you should not worry about sepsis because it cannot happen. You can get it from the flu, COVID, you can get it from cuts, dog bites, any of those. Of course, dog bites, bat bites, all of those you can get sepsis from in case it gets infected. But most likely, those will cause rabies. If the dog is sliving out of its mouth, run away as fast as you can, or basically just walk away and jump the fence because that dog is most likely rabid. So I'm just gonna let you know. I just want you guys to know that sepsis is common. So just be careful. As long as you're careful, you should not develop sepsis or sepsis shock. And if you do, pray to God that you don't die because this is going to be one heck of a miserable death that you're going to experience. It is so painful. Although I've never had it, I can just tell by these symptoms. I just know that any symptoms like this can kill you. And I'm just saying, be careful, alright? You might not want to live, but you have a purpose, okay? So don't think you want this just to see how painful it is, because you don't want to know. It's a painful way of dying. It's one of the most painfulest ways. It was back in history, if you're going to learn in history class one of these years, that they had to get their entire arm chopped off without any anesthesia. Anesthesia, which means they put you to sleep while they cut your arm off. But back in history times, they never had it. So back in the day, they had to cut off your hand while you were awake, or any of your body parts while you were awake. And the chances of you making it out alive were very slim because back in the day you really didn't have much medication at all. Therefore, you would basically die a week or a few days after. So I want you guys to know, be careful out there, be safe. I love you all. Peace out.